The moment I drove through the security gate, a chill ran down my spine, sharper than any Alaskan storm I'd ever faced. After 15 years guiding wilderness tours, I developed a sixth sense for trouble, and my quiet lakefront home was screaming it. Instead of the serene silence I craved after a grueling week, I heard music blaring, kids shrieking, and laughter echoing from my backyard. Bright orange tents, blue tarps, and red-striped canopies littered my pristine property like a festival had exploded. My heart pounded as I pulled into the driveway, each inch closer revealing a surreal nightmare. My home, my sanctuary, had been turned into a full-blown campground. And there, orchestrating it all, was Sandra, the HOA president, strutting around with a megaphone like she owned the place. I sat frozen in my car, staring at a registration table by my dock where a kid later I'd learn he was Sandra's 22-year-old son. Ethan sat with a clipboard, handing out wristbands and collecting cash from families. A hand-painted sign read, "Lakeside Family Adventure. Check in here." RVs were parked against my flower beds, camping chairs circled fire pits, and a bounce house wobbled near my deck. Sandra, in a garish yellow HOA shirt, was on a makeshift stage of wooden pallets, barking orders through her megaphone. The second our eyes locked through my windshield, her smile twisted into something cold and calculating. Before I could process it, sirens wailed in the distance, growing louder. Sandra was on her phone, gesturing at my car. 2 police cars screeched to a stop, blocking my driveway. She'd called the cops on me for trying to reclaim my own property. Officer Reynolds, a calm, middle-aged cop, approached my window. "Good afternoon, sir. We got a call about a disturbance. Are you the homeowner?" I handed over my license and registration, expecting this to be sorted in seconds. Instead, Reynolds glanced at the documents, then at the crowd, his expression suggesting I was the problem. Sandra swooped in, megaphone in hand, waving a folder of official documents. "Officer, this is the disruptive homeowner I mentioned. This is an approved community gathering under HOA Resolution 418. She handed him a map with highlighted lines and a clipboard of signatures, her voice dripping with confidence. I stared, dumbfounded, as Reynolds nodded along, flipping through her papers like they held more weight than my property deed. My blood boiled. I'd been paying the mortgage on this house for 6 years, and now I was being told to park on the street while strangers paid Ethan to camp on my land. Sandra's operation was slick, color-coded wristbands for different camping packages, a laminated price sheet, $25 for tents, $40 for RV hookups, even a guest book for waivers. Ethan directed families to prime spots by my lake, pointing out sunset views like he was running a resort. Meanwhile, an RV was dumping gray water into my storm drain, trash piled up near the water, and soap suds floated on my lake. This wasn't just trespassing, it was environmental destruction and fraud. I switched to survival mode, honed from years in the wilderness. Pulling out my phone, I started filming. Ethan's fee collection, the illegal wastewater dumping, Sandra's megaphone announcements about HOA approval. If this was heading to court, I'd need evidence. But Sandra noticed and stormed over, her voice booming. "You're not getting past me. This event is fully authorized." She waved her folder again, claiming Resolution 418 gave her rights to my lakefront. The map she spread on my car hood looked doctored, with suspiciously dark lines around my property. I showed Reynolds my deed, but his hesitant glance told me Sandra's theatrics were winning for now. The absurdity escalated when Ethan blocked me from my own back deck, saying, "Sorry, sir, this is a private event. I'll need ID and an overnight fee." The humiliation burned as I realized my backyard was now a restricted area. That's when I flipped the script. I activated my outdoor speaker system, usually reserved for parties, and broadcast wilderness safety alerts. "Attention campers, this lakefront area lacks certified safety equipment and emergency protocols. Camping stoves must be 50 feet from water to prevent contamination." The professional tone cut through the festive chaos. Families froze. Parents questioned Ethan about safety measures, and his polished facade cracked. He fumbled through his clipboard, unable to answer basic questions about evacuation plans or first aid. The crowd's mood shifted from excitement to unease. Sandra doubled down, claiming her community gathering was legal, but her own actions betrayed her. She started filming a family update video, smiling into her phone. "Hi, everyone. Sandra here at our stunning lakeside family adventure, arranged through my HOA connections." Behind her, Ethan was visibly collecting cash from a family with Ohio plates. I couldn't resist. Over my speakers, I announced, "Family favors are supposed to be free, not $40 a night." Heads turned, confusion spreading as campers realized they'd paid for a free event. Sandra's video faltered. She barked at relatives to stop discussing money, but it was too late. Her cousin, Linda, had already posted online. "Amazing paid lakefront camping, thanks to Sandra. Worth every penny." Paid. The word was a ticking bomb. Then came the game changer. Mrs. Callahan from House 14, a former HOA secretary, approached with a folder of real records. "David, you need to see this," she said, handing me emails proving no camping events were ever approved for private properties. The HOA required written owner consent for gatherings, and my address had no exceptions. Resolution 418? It was about street parking rules, not property rights. Armed with this, I emailed the county environmental office, attaching photos of the RV dumping, Ethan's fee table, and the trash-strewn lake edge. I knew from my wilderness work that regulators moved fast on water contamination. By 7:30 a.m., Inspector Clara arrived, her county SUV and water testing van signaling serious trouble for Sandra. She surveyed the scene: none permitted camping, wastewater violations, no environmental assessments, and started snapping photos. Sandra tried her HOA approval spiel, but Clara shut her down. "Ma'am, environmental law trumps local claims. You need county permits for commercial camping near protected waterways." Clara issued a cessation order, detailing $2,500 in fines and $1,200 in restoration costs. Sandra's face drained of color as Clara added, "Commercial operators face personal liability for damages." Personal liability. Sandra hadn't considered she'd be on the hook, not just her HOA title. The final showdown came at 9 a.m. My certified boundary survey, tracing my property to original land grants, proved I owned every inch of the lakefront. No public access, no HOA rights. Sandra's forged map, with its frayed corner and penciled alterations, crumbled under scrutiny. Officer Reynolds, now backed by county officials, demanded Sandra produce specific HOA resolutions and my consent. She had nothing. A present HOA board member read Mrs. Callahan's findings aloud. No permits, no authority, just fraud. Linda demanded a refund, fuming. "You lied to us, Sandra." Her brother, Tom, calculated his $50 loss for a legitimate event. Ethan's dream of a camping business died as families packed up, clutching refund demands. Sandra's empire collapsed in real time. The HOA suspended her presidency, banned her from candidacy for 5 years, and required a public apology on the bulletin board for 6 months. Her family ties frayed Linda, and Tom's trust was shattered. The environmental cleanup, with soil tests and lake restoration, would cost thousands, all on Sandra's dime. Ethan, chastened, took a job at an outdoor retailer, his venture a cautionary tale. The HOA reformed, mandating owner consent and banning fees for resident events. I hosted a free property rights workshop where Linda and Tom apologized, unaware of Sandra's scheme. My Alaska Wilderness Institute seminar on fraudulent permits felt like poetic justice. Sitting on my dock, watching the sunset ripple across clean water, I realized coming home early hadn't ruined my vacation, it saved my home. Sandra's desperation lingered in her eyes as the last family left, hinting at unfinished business. But I learned that defending what's yours sometimes means fighting dirty. The neighborhood was quiet again, boundaries clear, and Sandra's lies exposed. What would you have done? Drop a comment below.